Hello, welcome to the CatCast, and with you as always is your host, Cat Kennison, coming again to bring you another fascinating podcast, hopefully. It's going to be a good one today. We're going to have a good time. My voice is a little hoarse, but we're going to work through it. I did some tea, I took some mints, I feel okay. So we'll work through my voice. I know it doesn't sound great. A little too much yelling over the weekend. Took a couple of days off from the podcast, trying to recoup. But we are where we are today, and I cannot go another day without podcasting because I've really come to enjoy it. And when I don't do it, I feel like I didn't do anything worth accomplishing that day. And so I want to keep doing them and get back into the flow, But I took 2 days off, but I'm back in today to fire up with another podcast, and we got plenty of stuff to talk about. Now I do have a rundown of things, but I'm going to just keep it by the side, and instead of giving you out the topics, we're just going to move from topic to topic today, just kind of haphazardly. It sounds like a fun thing to do, not give you too much organization on this one. And I want to try to be fun with it today, the best I can anyways. Make you guys laugh about stuff that is, worldly and serious. But, one of my friends reminded me today that he can't stand politics. It depresses him. And I'm like, I get that. And I don't want to be depressing, for sure. I just like talking about it. So we're going to do our best to do it in a way that is informational, but also going to laugh at some of it to make it more lighthearted and not so depressing, because sometimes it really is. So our first topic for today is a doozy, and I'm fascinated by it. Democrats now, Mark Kelly is one of them from Arizona, Senator, Democrat. He's an astronaut, and I knew him before he became a politician. I followed him. He has a twin brother, and they actually did an experiment where he was up in space, and his brother stayed here on Earth. And then when he came back, they were comparing their bodies, because they're identical twins, to see that the changes, that how it affects a person's body. And this was the best way they could do it, using two identical twins. I believe they're both astronauts as well. And they had one of them up there, and the other one stayed here. And then when he came back, they compared them to see how space affects you. He was up there for a very long time. They were trying to, see the extended periods of space, how it affects your body. And now he is a senator, because, he's no longer an astronaut. And they came out with a video with several other Democrats talking to the military about not obeying. Now, they put in this illegal orders in the statement. And that's basically insurrection stuff right there, telling somebody not to obey an order. Now, they do put the illegal in there, but as far as I know, we don't do anything illegal. We don't command our military to. And they're trying to compare this to ICE, like what ICE is doing is wrong or something, and they shouldn't follow their orders, when all they're supposed to do is get the illegal people out of the country. And so Will Cain's talking about this. I follow Will Cain a lot. I love Will Cain. And I do not miss Neil Cavuto at all. I'm so glad he decided to move on. And Will Cain has filled his spot beautifully. But Will Cain brought up how nobody's held accountable. These Democrat people are never censored for stuff they do wrong. And even a censor, it's just slap on the hand. Oh, you did something wrong. Don't do that again. Okay, I won't. And then they do it again. So it really means nothing. But when these people come into our country and break the law, they don't want any kind of reciprocal action to take place to those people that break the law. And I'm like, well, does that mean I can pick which laws I want to follow? No, it doesn't. But this one, they say, oh, you get to pick and choose. It's wrong what they're saying. And they are encouraging an insurrection. And not only that, they're people of high positions of authority, and they should know better than what they did with that video. And they'll point to January 6th forever till the end of time. It was a setup. They set it up this way. Nancy Pelosi did not want any protection there so that they could film this and say it was an insurrection till the end of time. But only it wasn't. It was breaking and entering and trespassing. And most of it was just trespassing, because after the people broke and entered the glass, the rest of the people are just trespassing at that point, I believe. Okay? And really, they didn't know how they could trespass in the people's house. They say it's our people's house. And then you see the cops, or the security, just escorting the one guy around in there. He feels like, hey, this is cool. They're taking me around to find people and nobody's here. And then they throw him in jail and stuff. And then later we see the video of them walking him around like they're giving him a tour. And then they can't undo what they did to him because he signed it. And it's like, well, you guys set him up. Disclosure means you have to reveal everything to somebody. And they did not reveal that footage. How does that make any of this even? I don't understand. When you basically lie to somebody, and so they make a deal with you, and then later you can see that you were bamboozled, and then you can't get that guy out for that crap. It's bullcrap. And that's why Trump undid all the bullcrap. Because all they did was break and entering. They'll let rapists and murderers and everybody else out, But oh man, you broke and entered into the Capitol. Oh, we got to lock you up and throw away the key. Even though you're 80 years old and you obviously were just walking around. You weren't out to do anything. But they call it insurrection. What they're doing today is insurrection. And they all should resign. Everybody that was on that video should resign now. And I am with Will Kane 100% on this, and everybody should ask them to resign. Because what they just told people to do is to not follow orders from the commander-in-chief. Okay? They're trying to compare Trump to Hitler again. This has to stop. It has to stop. I'm kind of fed up with it. I'm to the point now, every Democrat says, hi, Callie. Callie's joined us, if you're watching. Every Democrat says that you need to be held accountable, no matter what. But they're never held accountable. I think they should change the name of their party to the Hypocrite Party, because that's what Democrats are. They are hypocrites. And I've lost all faith in them, because Mark Kelly, I actually thought he was a good man, being an astronaut, caring about, the future of mankind. And now I've lost all respect for this man. For him to tell people in the military, in our forces, to not follow orders and just throw in the illegal part. Oops, sorry about that. Is over the top outrageous. All of those people, I don't know how many people were in it, 3, 4. I seen Mark Kelly, I seen a lady, another guy, and I don't know all the representatives, but I know Mark Kelly. Because like I said, I knew him before I don't personally know him, but I knew of him before he even went into politics, because I follow space program very closely. I'm very into space. And so I've lost all respect for the man, though. And he really needs to apologize and then resign. They all need to. Because they are basically talking about an insurrection. And all the American people were doing that day on January 6th was showing their disgust in what they thought was a rigged election. Now, how come whenever we think an election is rigged, we're said election deniers? But when Stacey Abrams says it, oh, we have to look into it. You have to look into it. It's not an election denier. You notice? Hypocrite. Hypocrite again. Whenever we question something, we're put out to the pasture, but when they question something, it's totally legit. Even though the things they question make no sense at all. So right now they are telling our military, our FBI, I guess basically everybody that's in CIA, everybody that's in charge of keeping us safe, that if your orders, in your opinion, their opinion, whatever opinion, are illegal, because again, that's going to come down to your thought process is what they'll say, then don't obey them. How does that not lead to mass chaos? You know? So anybody can just decide what orders they want to obey and disobey based on their preference of whether it is illegal or not. Do you guys even think about what you say before you say it? I don't think they do. Now, I was trying to think how I can make this funny, because I'm so serious right now. And I'm trying to think how I can make it funny. And I guess my point is what you guys are doing when you get these marching orders to make these statements. If you think they're going to hurt the country, you should refuse to say them. Because I know how the Democratic Party works. They send out the talking points, and you guys repeat them. Say, I'm not going to repeat those talking points. No, I refuse to repeat those talking points. That would be a big step to me being on board with you guys. But you don't do that, see? You'll never not say those talking points. You'll say, okay, all right, here are the talking points, let's go. And everybody says it in conjunction. Minor variances in the change of a word here. But if you look them up, they all mean the same thing. You guys make a statement. It's prepared by the DNC, and then they send it out, and you guys just all repeat it in unison. How about stop doing that? How about not doing that anymore? Okay? And how about telling people, hey, yeah, they wanted me to say this, but I can't say it. That would be good. If you think your order is illegal, then how about saying, hey, they gave me this order, I think it's illegal, what do you guys think? Put it out there, No, we don't want that. That could lead back to us and stuff. No. We just want you to not follow the orders and cause mass chaos. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. So every one of you Democrats, right now, you all complained about January 6th. Even Mark Kelly brought it up in his statement. Okay? Dude? Really, dude? What you just did was insurrection. What happened on January 6th was not insurrection. That was a bunch of people upset, trying to show their disgust, which is what you Democrats do all day, every day. You're out there marching in your crazy crap, in your furry costumes, in your stupid outfits, looking stupid, singing songs like idiots, okay? And then when we do it, you say, oh, they had a flagpole. That's a weapon. A flagpole is a weapon? Did they take it down and try to spear somebody with it? No, they were just carrying it around with the flag. Well, that's not a weapon then. That's a flagpole. But that's the kind of stuff they did. He had a weapon. What was it? A flagpole. He tried to spear people? No, he was just carrying it on his shoulder. That's not a weapon then. That's just somebody carrying their flag on a pole. So if he would have wore the flag as a cape, we'd have nothing to charge him with? No, he could have took that cape off, choked somebody. That's a weapon. Okay? I'm making fun of it now. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. He had a shoe on. Yeah, he had a shoe on. It could have been a weapon. Yeah. Hey, his ring, if he hit somebody in the head, in the temple, he could have killed him. That wedding ring, weapon. His glasses were a weapon. He had eye protection on. I don't know. I could think of this crazy crap and bring it up. It's stupid. I'm sorry, you Democrats are stupid. It was not an insurrection, what they did. That was basically just breaking and entering on January 6th. What you guys are doing, telling people to disobey the commander-in-chief, That is insurrection. Unless you got heavy-duty evidence of him doing something wrong, you need to get that out right now. But you have nothing. You have him doing what he was elected to do. Everybody wants the illegals out of this country, okay? Except for you guys. And the only reason you guys don't want them out is because it's Trump that wants to get them out. Like when Biden was doing it, or Trump was doing it, or Obama, I never heard anybody say anything. Nothing. The greatest deporter-in-chief in history until Trump was Obama. No, they were crickets. You guys only don't like it because it's Trump. Same thing with the government thing, you know. I'm almost thinking what Trump should have done is done like a crazy offer and then offered them the clean CR. And that's the only way that we can do things from now on. The Republican side should go something crazy, you know. And then when the Democrats say, no, we're not going to do that. Okay, here's a clean CR then. There, we caved to you and gave you a clean CR. Wouldn't that not solve the problem? Cha-ba-cha, I'm brilliant. I know, I'm brilliant. It's getting fun, isn't it? It's getting fun. Are we having fun yet, people? Cat's having fun. I know how to destroy their plans. It's so easy to eliminate what they want to do, all right? I can't wait for them to say, hey, we can't be giving you $2,000 dividend checks out for the tariffs. I can't wait to hear that. It's going to come. What $2,000? That is an issue. You know, Trump should have said we're going to give $1,000. And then when they said $1,000 ain't much money, he said, okay, we'll double it, $2,000. No, we can't do that. How are we going to buy people off anymore? We need your money to buy people off. You know, Bernie Sanders let the cat out of the bag. Nobody even realized it except for Cat. When he said, you think we're all in on the take from the drug companies? Yeah, you are. You're not like under the table on the take. It's right out in front. They get to charge people more money, so that way they can fund your campaigns. If they can't charge us all that extra money, they don't have extra money to give you to fund your campaigns. You just expose yourself, Bernie. Yeah, you're all on the take. Not officially, but that's how it is. They need this extra money. You guys make sure they have it. Then they can give it to you guys. That's how it works. I figured it out. Cats figured it out. They're all like, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, he's on top of it, cha-ba-cha. We're having a good time, aren't we, people? I'm telling you, this is what it comes down to. Cat has figured out everything. The only reason these Democrats are doing what they're doing is because of their far left base. I hope you far lefties realize it. They're not looking out for you. They don't care about you at all. Okay, that's why they did the shutdown and hurt you. They just want to look like they're fighting Trump because the crazy base thinks that's good. But the crazy base is crazy, okay? Crazy base is going to elect someone that is not mainstream enough to get elected across the country. Crazy base will destroy your party. Let crazy base keep going. I don't care. It's good for Cat. Crazy base can be crazy, you know? But I would just tell crazy base, we're going mainstream, and if you don't like it, who are you going to vote for? Nobody? Then Republicans are going to get even more power, and you're going to hate the country even more. Threaten them with that, regular Democrats. I don't get it. Say, hey, put your crazies up there. Watch them lose. Watch Republicans take more seats and more power, and then you can complain even more because you have even less power. I don't know why Democrats are so afraid of their crazy base. Their crazy base is going to show up, or they're going to get something they really don't want. You know? It's just the way it is. You know? I'm glad Mandami won now in New York. You know why? Because his crazy policies are going to show the entire country how stupid he is. Okay? It's only going to go downhill. And a lot of times people have to see it before they believe it. How do you think Joe Biden got elected? How do you think Trump got reelected? Okay? They seen how bad Joe Biden was, and they're like, I don't want another 4 years of that garbage. You know? And that's what will happen with Mandami. He's going to get in. They're all going to realize that you're screwed, you know. Didn't he wants like child care for people, right? Free child care. You think they're going to pay people a lot of money if they have to provide it for free? No. They're going to get the cheapest of the cheap they can get. Do you think those people are going to take good care of your kids if they're really paid just a very low amount of money? They don't care. No, they don't care about your kids. Nobody cares more about your kids than the parents, the ones that birthed them. So you're going to hand your kids over to these people that don't care about your kids. They're not their kids. And they're only there because they're paid. And you think they're going to be well taken care of? No, it's going to be the worst child care ever. You guys are idiots. What do you think about these buses that are going to be free? You think it's going to be a good bus service? No, you're going to have homeless people living on there. It's going to become traveling homeless shelters for people. Nobody will use the bus. Nobody. Okay? And you have to pay the drivers. You have to pay for the gas in these buses. You have to pay all this stuff, maintenance on the buses, and you're not going to be getting any revenue from the buses. So it's all from other sources. Does that seem fair? You're making everybody else pay for people to ride for free. I don't get it. You guys are going to have to explain this crap to Cat because he don't get it. You guys are just nutso. I'm sorry. None of it makes any sense. Everything is garbage. You know what I first think will happen? Since the buses are free, they'll be packed to the gilliards. At first, everybody's going to be using the bus because it's free. And then it's going to slowly be less and less people because they're going to realize that anybody can be on that bus. And there are vagrants that stink on there, and they'll be like, make it their house. They'll probably have sheets and whatever, and they'll just stay in there 24/7. I can just see it now. This is my spot. This is I live here. This is my home. Can you keep it down? I'm trying to sleep back here. This is what's going to happen, people. Come on now. Don't be stupid. But you are already. I don't care. I don't go to New York. I wouldn't vacation there. I wouldn't live there. I could care less about it. But I'm glad it's going to happen to them because you get what you vote for. And I don't want anybody out there complaining either because you all voted for it. And the people that didn't vote for it, I'm sorry. You're in the dumb city. You got to deal with it. Leave. Leave. It will collapse the city because they won't be able to do all their things without the money. Watch it collapse so fast. I can see policemen leaving. I can't believe Tish took the job. I sure hope my Nami's going to pony up the 3,000 police that she wants to add to the force. If not, I don't know why she took the job, but we'll see. We'll see. This is why we're just tooling around with my topics. I don't have to actually go to things. I can just tool and move right into another topic so gracefully and effortlessly. Isn't it nice? Let's go to the Epstein files now. So everybody's all over these Epstein files. They're like, oh, we got Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. We're putting them out there. And it's going to turn out to just be a bunch of Democrats, like we always said it was. There is nothing with Trump. There is nothing. Nada. It would have been out by now. You guys have nothing. We're going to put it out there, though. We'll let you know everything about Bill Clinton you want to know. And all these other awful Democrats will let it out there. Somebody already had to resign because something came out. All right? So we're putting it out. We don't care. Epstein, put it all out there. Put it out there. We don't care. It's coming out. And it's going to bite you guys in the butt, too. So we're going to find out about all the people that have been doing the bad stuff, you know. And it's all Democrat side. Let's talk about Bill Maher. Kat would like to be on Bill Maher's show. I watched some clips of it this past week, the weekend show, and they had Patterson Oswalt on there. Patterson Oswalt is not a very good actor. Let's see. I can remember the first time I seen him was back in Seinfeld. He played a video store clerk, and George wanted to rent a video, and it was, I don't know, Breakfast at Tiffany's, one of those movies that he didn't want to read the book. And he said, it's out right now. And he said, well, maybe they're done watching it. I could go pick it up. And he's like, no, we don't let people do that. Anyways, that's when I first seen him. And he's never had a great career. He's been in a lot of, little spots, little things. But what I noticed in the show with Bill Maher is that he wasn't even hearing what Bill Maher had to say. It was like in one ear, out the other. He didn't acknowledge or even understand what Bill Maher was talking about. And I'm like, Bill Maher, why do you have somebody on there that can't even comprehend what you're talking about? You need to have Kat on there that you could bounce things off of, and you'd actually get some responses, because that guy was a joke on the show. I mean, there was nothing there. I mean, like most of these people that are actors, they can't just do talking. They have to have scripts written for them. They have to have jokes written for them. They're not good at coming up with their own stuff. They're good at delivery. If somebody gives it to them, they can deliver it. But they're not good at coming up with it. Kind of like Elvis. He was real good at delivering the songs. He couldn't write them, though. But, man, he could deliver them like crazy. And that's what these people are. So that's why I'm like, Bill Maher, why do you have them on there? Just because they're a celebrity, they have no actual knowledge, and it shows when they're on the show. And I'm like, if you want to have them on, it shouldn't be to talk about politics, because they're brain dead when it comes to politics. They're alienated from real life. You need people like Kat, people that have real experiences on that show, and it will up Bill Maher's show to the stratosphere. Because they're not. You don't watch Bill Maher to see these celebrities. You watch his show for the philosophy and the dialogue and the great talk that goes on there. You don't watch it to see celebrities. That's what late night shows are. His show, Politically Incorrect, is the exact opposite of a late night TV show. It is a philosophical conversation between a few people that totally makes sense. That is like analysis off the board, smart, witty, intelligent. But when you bring somebody in that can't balance it with you, Bill, it makes you look incredibly smart, but the rest of the show looks boring and stupid, And I think it would be better if you had someone like me to spar with, Bill. That's all I'm saying. Because I could go back and forth with you. I think you're a very centrist left person, and I can work with that. I said the other night I was centrist right, and my friend said, "You're not centrist right. You're righter than me." And I said, "How do you feel about abortion?" And he says, I don't believe in it. I said, well, Kat is pretty neutral on it. I say, mother's life, you go with the mom. You can have an abortion. I say, if you're raped, you can get an abortion. I say, if it's incest, get an abortion. If you're too old or too young, you can get an abortion. And I would even go as far as say one accidental pregnancy. I'd go that far to show you how centrist I am on it. I don't like that one. A lot of people would say, well, that's not very conservative. But that's how I would like to meet the left and say, isn't that enough? Why do you need to have abortions, 10 abortions in your life? Why do you have to have unlimited abortions? Why do you have to have late trimester abortions? Those are the things I would fight, And I think I am pretty centrist when it comes to that, because there's not too many Republicans that would add that last caveat that I added. Most people are okay with the woman's life. They're okay with the rape and incest, most of them, okay? I don't know about the too old or too young one, if they'd be okay with that one. And I'm pretty sure they're not okay with one accidental pregnancy one. So that makes me pretty centrist in my mind. I'm pretty centrist. And I could spar with you. And we would actually bring people together. I'd say, where can we agree on things? Can you agree with what I just listed there? I bet a good percentage of Democrats would, because I've talked to a lot of Democrats, and they say, I wouldn't get an abortion. But I think that people should have the option to get one. And that's why I've adjusted my policy to the one accidental pregnancy one, because that's usually the fact that people keep sticking on. That's about as far as Kat can go and still feel like I'm holding my values, And a lot of people aren't going to like that. But that's where I am trying to meet the people on the other side. I will never say you can have unlimited abortions. I will never say let's do them last trimester and all that unless the mother's life is endangered. Otherwise, you should have had it way earlier. Everybody's okay with the abortion if the mother's life is endangered. The thing is, that's not what they do them for, okay? That's what we always talk about, all right? And if you're going to get an abortion, there's no reason to wait until the end, right? No, it's wrong. That's as centrist as you can get from a conservative, and I don't think you'll ever get anything closer than that, Bill. You should have me on the show. Wow, we're out of time. See, if I would have listed everything I had, we would have gone over. Oh, we got one thing I want to mention. There is a J. Crew sweater selling for $168. It is pink. It is for a man. around the top here, it looks like a doily. Okay, it goes around the back and everything. There's like a ring that looks like a little doily around your neck. It's for a man. The man looked like he didn't even want to take time taking the shot because he never even fixed his collar. It was just sticking up all haphazardly. They probably were like, just hurry up and shoot this. Nobody's going to buy this ugly thing. Somebody said, well, maybe they made it for ladies, and they did this focus group, and ladies are like, we're not wearing that garbage. And they said, let's put a man tag on it, see if men will buy it. I don't even think gay people would wear this thing, but you guys need to look it up. J. Crew. Maybe we can make this thing go crazy and get this $168 pink sweater, wear it to your ugly Christmas sweater party, and see if you win first prize. All right? I mean, it's not really Christmassy, but you might take home the gold because it is ugly. All right, people, check it out. Had to add the humor in at the end. I appreciate you all being here, doing the podcast again with me. Cha-ba-cha. We'll keep doing it. I love doing it. I love you guys coming in and listening, and it's a great place to be, and I hope you keep coming and hanging out with me. So we'll see you next time. All right, bye now.